David Strickland is a partner with the law firm Venable LLP. He's also a former administrator at NHTSA. And David, thanks for taking the time to talk with me right now.
Of course, absolutely.
Let's talk about your former agency. There's a lot of talk now with all these recalls and how certain things were missed by NHTSA, by General Motors and Toyota and Takata as well. But there's a lot of people saying that NHTSA simply does not have enough resources. What's your read on the situation?
Well, I will have to say that, in my old job in the U.S. Senate, I oversaw two safety agencies and one investigatory agency. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. They were all grossly underfunded when I was a Senate staffer back in the dark ages. And I think that goes for any public health and safety agency in government. They're all underfunded, which is a problem because you're talking about making investment in safety, are we putting all the investments that we can? No, I don't think we are. And I think that, legislatively, people are making decisions not to do that. Whether that's good, bad, or otherwise, I'll leave that evaluation to the side. I know my agency was grossly underfunded in a number of its functions, whether you're talking about defects, the behavioral program, all the stuff, the research program, and they've been underfunded for years. And I think it's wonderful that Dr. Rosecon in his testimony really talked about that fact and said, look, if you give us more money, we'll give you more safety. I love that line, and I think
but if you talk to any government agency, they're going to say we don't have enough money. In fact, I'd even add, if you talk to any department of any corporation, they'll tell you the same thing. I need more budget.
I will tell you, I'm very proud of the people at NHTSA. I worked with them, hand in hand for 4 years, and they're some of the most amazing public service that you'll ever run across. They do more with less because they have to. But I can also say from sitting, being that agency head for 4 years, if there were more resources provided, there's a number of things that the agency could do which would be probative of safety. Are they doing a bad job now? No. Could they use more resources? Yes. Could they use more, could they use the resources they have more efficiently? Any organization could. But if you ask me the question, could NHTSA benefit from having more resource right now? Absolutely it could benefit, and I think it would be the right thing to Congress to do that.
One of the criticisms of the agency is that it didn't have different computer systems linked together so that it couldn't track trends. So for example, the GM ignition switch thing, clearly went under the radar as far as NHTSA was concerned. Some parts of General Motors missed it totally too. Yeah. So it's clearly not just a NHTSA problem. Where do you think would be the most effective way of helping NHTSA get more resources? Is it in linking all these computer systems?
I would say, I think it's broader than that. I think it's really improving the power of the agency broadly in analytics, because you're talking about finding the needle in the haystack sometimes, and I think that GM ignition interlock is severe and a lot of people lost their lives. But it is, in the 32,000 people who lost their lives annually, it's kind of a needle in a haystack in terms of finding that risk vector, right? So it takes a lot of hard work. And they're working on improving their data systems. Now they have a data modernization project that the Congress funded for about $25 million, which will help. But I think in dealing with their future, in dealing with automated driving, connected vehicles, and all this other stuff, you're going to be dealing with not just crashes in cars anymore, you're going to be dealing with simulations because you're having cars that are making decisions for themselves. How do you figure out that system is rigorous enough? So they're going to need a lot more computing power, a lot more analytical power. So I think if you're going to make that first big investment, I think that investment's there. But I'll also say that behavior is important. Drivers managing the driving task is important. Those 32,000 people that lost their lives in traffic crashes, for all crashes, not just the fatal crashes, 90% of all crashes have an element of human error. People driving impaired, people not wearing their seatbelts, people driving too fast, people driving distracted. Getting that taken care of is also immensely important and worth a lot of investment and resource as well.
Okay, you make a good argument, NHTSA needs more money. Washington, are they going to get it?
I hope so. I think that clearly the two oversight committees are going to look very hard about how to make NHTSA better. I faced the very same questions when I was administrator, when I worked on the Toyota investigations back in 2010. Question, did NHTSA do its job properly the first time? Second, once that was answered, what can we do to make NHTSA better? And I would hope that the oversight committees and the appropriations committees take this opportunity to really look hard about how they can make NHTSA better.
David Strickland, thanks so much for your time, for your insights into NHTSA and what should be happening with the agency.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Borg Warner, Feel Good About Driving, Bridgestone Tires, Your Journey, Our Passion, Dow Automotive Systems, Breakthrough Technologies for Lightweight Vehicles, and by Hyundai. Learn more at Hyundai.com.